Good morning. Welcome to the Kila Chari Torah Daily Halacha Review and Sefirah Omer counting for Thursday, April 22nd. Today is the 25th day of the Omer. Hayom Chamisha ve'esrim yom Shem Shloisha Shavuos ve'arba'a Yamim la'Omer. We are halfway to Shavuos. Something which is not a full-scale malacha, yet forbidden on Shabbos in order to cure a patient who is not critically ill, is also forbidden on the first day of Yom Tov, or on both days of Rosh Hashanah, which both days of Rosh Hashanah have the same status, as distinct from Pesach, Sukkot, and Shavuos, where the second day there is a place to be lenient with some things. On the second day of Yom Tov, it may be done even by a Jew, for someone who is ill, not critically life and death ill, but ill. But a full-scale malacha may not be performed for a patient who's not critically ill, even on the second day of Yom Tov, unless it's done by a non-Jew. It says, in parentheses, to consult a halachic authority before taking any actions on this matter. So happy to discuss at any time. And of course, if it really is a possible life or death matter, one should seek medical attention, however that's necessary, right away, without asking questions. Carrying is permitted on Yom Tov. We're allowed to carry things that are not needed for preparing food, provided there's some other need for it. But if it's totally unnecessary, you're not supposed to carry it out of your house unless it's in a place where you're permitted to carry on Shabbos, which applies to pretty much most of Toronto, the Eruv being up. Concerning things that are needed for food, like kegs of wine, you should not carry as heavy a burden as you might on weekdays, or do it with a shinui, do it with in a different manner. If it's impossible to do it differently, as when you have many guests, you have to bring a whole barrel of wine up from the wine cellar, so go ahead and do it in the usual manner. All work that's permitted to be done before Yom Tov may be performed only for the needs of people, but not for animals. The verse in the relevant section in Exodus says the work shall be done for you, and the drasha on that in Tractate Bea is for you, but not for your animals. So you can do it for people, but not for animals. Therefore, it's forbidden to cook or carry out anything for the needs of an animal, just like on Shabbat. We are forbidden to cook or bake for the needs of a non-Jew. But if you have a non-Jewish servant working in your house, you're allowed to add food and cook it in the same pot, so there'll be enough for them to eat as well. But for a distinguished non-Jew, it's even forbidden to add food. Moreover, even if you cooked or baked anything for yourself, you're forbidden to invite a non-Jew to eat with you. This is an interesting stringency here of Yom Tov, even over Shabbat. On Shabbos, you can invite anybody you like, Jews and non-Jews, because we're not going to cook anything on Shabbos. Anything you are going to eat on Shabbos has to be prepared beforehand. You're not allowed to cook anything on Shabbat for any reason. So whatever you have, you can divide up as many ways as you like. So if you're expecting 12 guests and 16 or 18 or 20 show up, so you cut the pieces a little bit smaller and you go on with your life. However, on Yom Tov, we are allowed to cook, but only for the needs of Yom Tov. So for another Jew who needs to celebrate Yom Tov and you invite them to your house for lunch, so you can add a little bit more to the soup, you can make 2 more schnitzels or whatever it is. A non-Jew, of course, does not have a mitzvah to celebrate Yom Tov. So we don't, generally speaking, we don't invite non-Jews for Yom Tov meals because of the fear that we might add to the cooking and wind up cooking unnecessarily on Yom Tov. There are certain, let's say, guidelines, a little bit of room to be lenient here in some situations with regard to the Pesach Seder and other things. So as those questions come up, please let's discuss them. If baking bread, even for your non-Jewish servant, even if it's for your non-Jewish servant, is forbidden. For yourself, of course, you can. It's forbidden to carry out anything on Yom Tov for a non-Jew unless it's to a place where you can carry on Shabbos. Once again, most of Toronto covered by the Eruv is inside the Eruv. You would be allowed to carry anything that you would normally carry on Shabbat. Okay, we'll go to a new section of the laws of Muktzah. How does Muktzah apply on Yom Tov as distinct from Shabbat? So please join us tomorrow. Have a good day.